Hello and welcome back to another popcorn chat. I hope you guys are doing well. In this video, I'm going to speak to you about Jason Reitman's latest film, Saturday Night. I was excited to check this film out for two reasons. One of those being I'm a fan of Jason Reitman's directing. I think he's done some great films, including the likes of Juno, Young Adult, Tully, the latest Ghostbusters films. He's in a real mix of films and genres, and I think he's a great storyteller. And the other aspect was the amazing young talent in this film, really highlighting what Hollywood has to offer. I heard a few mixed things going into this when people saw it at the likes of London Film Festival, as well as other places, and I was a little bit sceptical, but I was like, no, I like this director, I like this cast, so I went in hopeful, and I have to say, I had a good time with this. Say what you will about the story or the performances, you have to applaud the filmmaking. Jason Reitman is able to make the camera fly through the soundstage and make you feel stressed, anxious, all in those 90 minutes building up to the first ever show of Saturday Night Live. And you're there with the characters through the movements of the camera. It's shot on film. It feels so organic to that time, and it just intensifies everything you're seeing on screen. Alongside what you're seeing visually, I think the score and the soundtrack by Jon Batiste was amazing. He also stars in this film, and I think the kind of jazz and percussion kind of elements really intensify what a lot of the characters are going through in this sort of emotions leading up to the first show. It also transported you back in time. It kind of felt like that 70s grainy, smoky kind of room. You felt like you were in that soundstage, and I think the music really exemplifies what this film is about and just adds to the kind of world building and the life in which the set itself has in this film. I think that's done really effectively through Jon's music. I'm really enjoying those films that happen in one night and inevitably are very chaotic, and this film's definitely going to be added onto one of those lists. I personally have never seen a full episode of SNL, but I've very much grown up in the YouTube generation, so I've always seen it through clips online, and my introduction to a lot of the comedians was through the movies that they made, you know, whether it's Will Ferrell, Kristen Wiig, you know, through Bridesmaids or Elf or any of those, or Adam Sandler as well. I've seen them through the films and I've kind of, oh yeah, they were all on SNL. And with this being focused on the first episode, I knew a few of the comedians, but not all of them. And one thing I really appreciate is the fact that these actors aren't doing direct impressions. They aren't mimicking them in a sort of, you know, really intense way. They are like, okay, this is Chevy Chase. We're going to go with that character. They look like them with the wig and the costuming, but he's not doing a straight up impression. And I really like that because that could have been really distracting and you're just constantly thinking, oh, that's not Chevy Chase. Oh, that's a really good bit. Oh, no. So it just allows you to enjoy the narrative and the performance from the actor rather than focusing on their impressions. Ironically, I do think this film's pacing is off at times. It starts to feel quite long as it progresses, about 2/3 in. You start to feel it, even though it's not 90 minutes as such, like a 24-hour situation where it's minute per minute, but it's just very much slogs in the middle. You're repeating scene characters. There's a lot of people to deal with in this and various different avenues and storylines you could follow. But I think it kind of loses its way during that sort of latter half of the second act. There's an amazing casting this film. I mean, we've got the likes of Gabrielle LaBelle, who was in The Fabelmans, Rachel Sennett, Corey Michael Smith, Ella Hunt, Dylan O'Brien, Emily Fenn, Matt Wood, Lamone Morris, Kim Matula, Finn Wolfhard, Nicholas Braun. There's so many great actors in this film, and I think a lot of them do an amazing job. Some are more in the forefront than others, and I think because they're not doing those impressions, they're able to show us their acting abilities, and it just works so much better. But with a different director, I think they could have made them do impressions and it wouldn't have been as an effective film. Nonetheless, I think this was a really entertaining watch. I was invested in these characters. I knew, you know, a little bit about SNL, but I think this really sort of fleshed out the kind of intrigue that I had, and has made me want to go and delve into their kind of history of the show and where the comedians have gone on to now. So I think it's a really good kind of stepping stone. Maybe if you've not seen SNL before, you want to get into it, this is a great way to kind of, oh, that's piqued my interest, and I imagine it's going to get a lot more viewers from seeing this film. Overall, I really enjoyed Saturday Night. It wasn't amazing. You know, I think some of Jason Reitman films are a lot better than this one, but all in all, in terms of telling a historical event with a lot of elements of performance and twisting the truth a little bit and showcasing what young Hollywood has to offer, I think it does a good job. If you've seen the film, let me know your thoughts down below in the comments. I'd love to hear your thoughts. Thank you so much for watching this review of Saturday Night, and I'll see you guys very soon for another popcorn chat.